So we should potentially then, Mr. Obvious, reading that shirt, we shouldn't even be able to read it. It should look more like this.
Oh, you coming
Yeah,
my shirt?
yeah. You should be running towards the camera, not away. So
I have to reload.
we need to put that needs to go on the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
Last Minute Man, we're back here on the range. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And today we're continuing our series on good white-tailed deer calibers and rifles that you might use for hunting medium-sized game like a white-tailed deer. And I call it medium-sized game. Around here in Kentucky, it pretty much is. That's medium. We do have elk out here, but nothing like the kind of stuff you're seeing out west. No moose.
Yeah.
So, but what we have here today is a rifle that's been in my family for quite some time, since before I was born anyway. And this is my father's favorite deer rifle. And I had an uncle that shot this quite a bit. And before that, it was their cousin's rifle. He had purchased it new. And he did a little bit of modification to the rifle. But this is a Remington Model 660 in caliber 243. So tell us a little bit about this caliber there, Mr. Obvious.
243 has been around several years. This 243, it runs around 3,300 feet per second, according to what bullet you use. But today we loaded up 39 grains of varget with an 85 grain Sierra bullet. And we're gonna shoot it. And I think you got the first video, the first shot you're going to play. How many years has it been since this gun's been fired?
Gosh, well, first let me tell you about the scope. This is a Bushnell scope. I was dating a girl back when I was in college, and I always talked about the terrible scope that was on this rifle. So she went out and bought me a scope that to her was like the best scope in the world, she thought. So bought this back then. I think this ran about 120 bucks.
Yeah.
But it's a good scope. I mean, it works just fine. But the scope I put on there and zeroed it, and that's been, and the last time I shot it, I was 22 years old. So let's take the knot with the knot and then do a little bit of subtraction, and that was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
God, 16 years ago since I have fired this gun. And we pulled this thing out, and I just quit hunting with the 243. The last deer I killed with the 243, I had to track quite a ways, and I said, I'm never doing that again. So,
I know you said your dad likes hunting with it.
Oh God, he drops them with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot that deer, I just had a bad experience, and it ran away from me. So that was 16 years ago, and it's been sitting in the safe ever since. And we pulled it out today, and what happened?
Well, we wanted to try this load that we just throwed up off the top of our head, and I'm like, you know, before we start filming, we might ought to see if we can even hit a target with it. It's been so long since it's actually been fired. So we shot it down there at a dot about that big, and we hit it, I mean, just straight above.
A perfect zero. You know?
Wow.
And I said, well, let's get this out and show people how to zero a rifle for hunting season and this and that. And I said, well, we'd have to take it out of zero to zero it. So we got lucky today. Of course, we only fired one shot, and that was our Fowler shot. So as we go, you never know, it might print a little different. But I was pretty tickled with that. That's good. You don't want to mess with it just yet. So yeah, but what about that? And I'll tell you, a 243, one of the biggest, coolest things about it, in my opinion, is it will bring down a deer. And how much powder did we use here in this?
39 grains of varget. I mean, it's the max charge out of the Lyman manual. I used the 50th edition, I think, and I've got a 39 edition, so 47 edition.
Yeah, the 47th is what I have.
I kind of like Lyman because their speeds in their manual is actually very consistent with what you chronograph with the powder charge, so it's pretty darn close. And that's why so I've got lots of other manuals, but that one's close.
Right.
It's consistent, it's close, and that's why I use it.
But what's really cool is that same amount of powder to load a 30-06, let's put it that way, uses 50 grains, correct?
Yeah, max charge.
Max charge would be 50 grains.
4064 varget is about equivalent to varget 4064. They're about the same.
So, and it is a heavier slug. You are using a bigger slug, but you know, when times are tight like they are right now, it's difficult to get powder. And, you know, you can, I mean, potentially after you shoot, you know, 10 shots out of this, you've got the powder left over would load you 2 more rounds.
Yeah.
You know, between a 30-06 and this. So that's pretty interesting. It's a great caliber. This thing shoots flat. And a lot of people in the family have brought down a deer with this. My dad, he's taken them. This is the only thing I think he's taken a deer with.
Yeah. I recommend a 100-grain bullet for deer hunting out of a 243.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to work real well. I've used 85 grains. I killed a nice 9-pointer, big 9-pointer. I had him mounted. He's hanging on the wall. And with this bullet, just about like this, 85, same bullet, 85 grain. And it dropped him right in his track of the gun. He went, boom, that was it.
Well, there's no replacement for bullet placement. and you know, I mean, we always say the 3 Ps, you know, placement, penetration, then power. And that's kind of the way I think about things. You know, and there's jokes made online about it. But, I mean, truthfully, the 300 Win Mag you miss with is not as good as the 243 you hit with. Okay, so you got to know your limitations, what you like, and everybody's a little different. I had a guy in the comment sections on the 35 Whale, and I got a big kick out of it. He's kind of making fun of us for saying we like recoil and kick, and I'm being a little bit facetious when I say that, but at the same time, I do. I enjoy something when it's something fun about shooting something and feeling that power. I just think it's neat. It's not something I want to come out here and plink with. You know, that 35 Whaling at the max load we had on it. Yeah. I mean, that thing, you're not going to sit here and just plink with that all day. But it bruised your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Them loads I had in there, it bruised me up real good. It's splotches, black and blue.
Yeah.
But if you use the typical load in it, it's comfortable to shoot. I mean, you slow it down like that one we had, 2,600 feet per second. You can clank all day with it. Yeah. But you run it up on the jagged edge like I was running it. Right. It hit a kick.
Well, and if you are recoil shy, a 243 is great. I mean, it's a lot more powerful than a 30-30. And a 30-30 is plenty power. But this is, I think, all around a good firearm for reloading and everything else. I mean, it's kind of akin to a 6.5 Creedmoor.
It's a dandy varmint gun. A lot of varmint hunters use this coyote hunting and stuff. I used it groundhog hunting. And I mean, at 300-400 yards, I was wearing groundhogs up. Now I had a Winchester varmint. It's kind of heavier barrel, and it just stack them. Well,
and I want to clarify real quick, when I say it's kin to a 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm not saying this is identical to a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's the same kind of concept, though. You know, you got a smaller bullet.
Well, 6mm here, and you jump up to a 6.5mm.
Roger. So, I mean, it's a very flat shooting cartridge. And, I mean, this thing, I know this one in particular, we shoot commonly at 300 meters. And with this scope, and my father and I have never had an issue hitting a man-sized target with it. So, yeah, so let's do a little bit of shooting with it, get a good zero, see how it patterns, and we'll go from there. But stick with us. All right, so I'm going to take 3 shots with this to a 3-shot group. And sorry, guys, we didn't necessarily come prepared today. We don't have our other camera set up downrange, so we'll have to walk down and show you after the 3 shots. And the chronograph is hit or miss whether or not the batteries are working. So we'll see how we do. Just bear with us. Sorry about that, but we're still going to shoot. So here we go. Stacked right on top of your other one.
Sweet.
All right. Here we go. Second shot. Stack driver.
Stacking them, ain't it?
Okay. We'll go look at them after this next shot. Okay. Last shot. I pulled a little bit on that one. But let's go down there and take a look. Just so you can see the message my chronograph is giving here. I think it's asking for help. But we're gonna walk down here and check out this target. All right, so here I am at the target. And y'all, I'm telling you, we have one shoot low and the rest of them right here. That's, I'm pretty darn impressed with that. And that's at 100 yards. So it's a 100-yard shot. And that is sub MOA. Wow. What a shooter. All right, so Mr. Obvious said it's obvious that he needed to correct me and tell him what that target was telling you.
Yeah, that target was telling me that gun was shooting on your thumbnail or your fingernail.
So the first shot that was low, that was actually your shot.
That was my shot. Yeah, the one
wow.
just above, and the three above that was your three stacked on top of it. And we found the battery for the chronograph. I have one inside.
Look at that.
So
we're gonna let Mr. Obvious have at this now, and he's gonna shoot an even tighter group, I'm sure. But we'll get the chronograph data right here. So bear with us.
All righty, we're gonna try to chronograph this since we found the battery and see if it works now. See how we do.
And it's shot.
Right on top of your bullets.
It's shot error 2. That's how many feet per second we went. All right, bolt is open.
Yeah, I don't know if we got enough sunlight. We may have to put things on top of it.
Let's get her going. She'll pick up here. All right. Shot the same consistent speed, error 2. So we'll have to figure this chronograph out.
Yep. Let's put the blinders on it and see if
all
it
right,
works.
let's give that a whirl. Bear with us here. All right, so we got the shades over the top. We'll see if that helps. We'll get at least one shot chronoed here. All right, we got her that time. 3,000. Here, I'm coming up in front of you. Open chamber. All right. 3,105 feet per second. So, that ain't no slouch. He's going to fire another one. Let's see how consistent we are.
I'm going to let you shoot it and
all right.
chronograph one and see what happens.
Well, I'm going to hand you the camera.
All righty.
Oh, movie magic. I won't even edit that. It's just such a smooth transition. All right, here we go.
See if we can get another chronograph.
Whoa, okay. I'm way out there. All right. I got to bring this way down here. Oh, I know why. Slid off the back. Okay, here we go. All right. Here we go.
$3,083.
3,083. All right. Now let's go check out that group.
All right. 8 shots.
So we got a total of 8 shots. So we're coming up on her here. Watch the ragweed. I'm telling you, my eyes swelled shut on me yesterday. I was bush hogging. It weren't pretty. All right, so, golly. Okay, so you can see my 3 were in here. my original 3, and you can see that, how small that is. Now, when you got, Mr. Obvious was having to get up, move around, and everything else, you know, we got 1 shot here, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this was the first shot, 8. So, this thing's shooting tight.
Tight group.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, the whole group ain't much bigger than your thumbnail. And I mean, you're going to be...
That's sub MOA.
Yeah, it's sub.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's probably less than an inch group.
So, yeah.
That little old Remington gun, old as it is.
I can't believe it's that accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing, we're going to do a close-up of the rifle here and show you guys. She's old. So, here we go. Now, I am close up on this rifle just to show you how old this thing is, if I can get it to 0. You see the rust in the bluing there, okay? The crown is in good shape, okay? Come over here, you can see the pitting and rust on her. I mean, this gun's been pretty well taken care of since I've had it anyway. I know my dad would get these out and oil them a couple times a year. But, you know, it's... All right, we're back with our after-action report. And what do we have to report today?
Oh, a beautiful 243 is what we got to report.
I'm just shocked.
I'm amazed
that this thing shoots that good with the short barrel it's got. Of course, we're out here shooting 100 yards. But what a testament to the 243 cartridge. You know, and you were pointing something out here. And go ahead and point that out to the folks at home. Oh,
yeah, the way they designed that, you'll see a close-up in the video we done just a little earlier. And this is all flat, and it's curved to meet the stock. It's closed. That way, when you go up years ago, when they built this gun, all this wasn't sticking out in your way. This gun was built, you know, for quick shooting. You know, you come up, none of this was in your way to catch your hand, catch your clothes. You got winter clothes on. I don't know if I was in the camera or not.
I think you were in front there. Yeah.
You got winter clothes on, and you go to grab your gun and go up and grab the trigger. None of this would snag on anything. Your gloves, everything was laid flat and smooth. It was a good design back then. So
I want to point out the walnut stock on this as well is just really nice. I mean, it's after all these years, you know, we've got synthetics and things like that now, and I think there's a lot of benefit with that as far as weight is concerned. But as far as durability, these old wood stocks, man, held up. Yeah, you know, I mean,
I love this old diamond they put on the bottom. Ain't that nice?
It looks like ivory, but of course that's plastic. But you know, this wasn't a top of the line model even back then, and you know, like Mr. Obvious was just pointing out, I mean, this bolt is smooth as can be. Of course, that happens with age. This was shot quite a bit, and the trigger pull on it, to the folks at home, that, I mean,
it's sweet.
That's
3 pound, maybe 2.5.
I'd say it's about 2 pound if I was going to guess.
We didn't bring our scale with us.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. It's been a long time since I fired this thing, and yeah, it's just, what a sweetie. I mean, just what a sweetie. And wonderful shooting firearm. The 243, you can't help but like it, especially when you're shooting like that.
Yeah. Did you see the group on that down there?
It's just outstanding.
I mean, last minute, man, he impressed me. Hey, he's starting to get good now with these scopes.
And I was a pretty decent shot in the military, you know, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Anything special, but, you know, I'm a good shot, but I'm nothing special.
He's coming along.
And but yeah, with his coaching here, I've done a lot better. And actually, scopes, I never was a fan. I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. I've always been an open sight kind of guy, but I'm starting to see what you like so much about scopes, and that I can get it dialed in like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got 3 bullets actually cutting down there.
Wow.
So we put 8 rounds. The last 3 rounds I shot, they're starting to open up just a little bit. You know, mine open up. Of course, this is a sporter barrel now.
Right.
You're going to have that. So.
Well, and I also want to point out, we're shooting out of this lead sled here, which takes a lot of the shooter out of the equation. So if I'm flinching a little bit or moving, I mean, I'm steady, but I'm not. I mean, he's in his old age now, and I won't give your age away, but he's in his old age now, and he still has a steadier hold on things than I do, and that just comes with years of practice and experience. And you know, yeah, anything getting my way within 300 meters, you know, with a AR platform or even this, I think look out. You know, I'm gonna hit it, but this guy, he can go out some distance. And but yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with this rifle. I've had fun today shooting this, and I mean, if there's anything you guys would like to see at home, please let us know. I mean, what's your favorite whitetail deer round? We haven't gotten to my favorite yet. I'm sure some of you that have been watching already know what it is, but Mr. Obvious, is there anything you'd like to add?
I just gonna tell about the load right quick. We loaded this, and we went by the book. I didn't have the gun with me to load for the bullets, so these bullets is actually touching the lands we're shooting this morning. They're on the riflings. You can put the bullet in, close the bolt, you can feel drag, pull that. You can see the riflings actually touch. I like to back that up about 10 thousandths, but it's stacking them right where it's at.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so we'll back it up a little bit. One day we'll really fit the gun, see if it still groups like that. So. And
the other thing I like is you went to a local shooting range and got this brass.
Yeah.
For free.
For free.
So yeah, I mean, guys, use your noodle, and you know, it's right there, and use it. And there's things you can do to get lead and cast your own bullets and things like that, and I encourage everybody to do that as much as possible. Of course, when you're shooting high pressure loads and things like that, cast bullets probably aren't your best thing to do. I mean, it doesn't matter you put A-locks on it or not. Without a copper jacket on it, you're going to get some leading in your barrel. Okay, but this has been a lot of fun. Literally had a blast. So this has been Last Minute Man with Mr. Obvious, reminding you, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man. Don't forget the comment section below.